Time since facing sexual assault allegations, Ben Roethlisberger sits down with Sally Wiggett tonight. The entire interview unedited as he faces the tough questions. Good evening, everybody. I'm Andrew Stockey.
And I'm Wendy Bell. From apologies to his drinking habits and even his home life, it is a side of the QB you have never seen.
And you'll see it first on 4. Channel 4 Action News anchor Sally Wiggins sat down with Ben at his home, and Sally, Steeler Nation, has been waiting for this.
Andrew, Wendy, so has Ben Roethlisberger, waiting to speak to the fans whose disappointment in their Super Bowl winning quarterback is painfully apparent. Wednesday, I visited Ben Roethlisberger in his North Hills home, and we sat down to talk about what had gone wrong and what was going right. Full 12th statement. You said you were not going to talk about the incident on March 5th in Millersville, Georgia, but DVDs have now come out, interviews with the accuser. Have you seen them?
No, I haven't seen them.
Do you have anything to say now that this is all out?
Well, from day one, I would love nothing more than to be able to tell my side of the story, to let everybody know what really happened and didn't happen. But because of the legal things in Reno still, I've been advised by lawyers and attorneys that, I just can't say anything. But I've been, chomping at the bit to be able to tell my side of the story.
Yeah, you have.
You certainly have probably told your side of the story to your parents and your sister. How difficult has this been for them, going through all of this?
It's been tough, especially my sister, my grandma, aunts, uncles, my dad, how close I am with my father. It's been a really tough time, especially them hearing everything that they hear. They know the story, they know what happened, they know it didn't happen. But you still hear things in the media, you read things, you see things, whatever. And that's been one of the hardest parts for them, is just having to read these things and things about their son or grandson or nephew, whatever. And so that's been one of the hardest things for everybody.
What was the turning point with your father? I mean, they must have wondered who you were.
You know what? I got so caught up. I've made a lot of mistakes. I mean, I was immature. I was young. I was dumb. I'm from a small town that got thrown into Pittsburgh, which I know isn't a huge city, but when you talk about football, it's a huge city. And when I came here, I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of a lost kid in a big city, and I kind of got thrown in, the first season with all the games I had to play, and we won all the games, and all of a sudden I became on the field, I became Big Ben.
So you had to rape
people.
people.
Ben Rapistberger, who my parents raised, and the Christian, the family friends are important, and being nice to people, whatever. And as the next year we won the Super Bowl and so on and so forth, I got caught up becoming Big Ben the whole time.
The rapist.
I lost track of who Ben Roethlisberger was. And it's not something I'm proud of. I've made mistakes. I know I have. But I was immature. I didn't know any better. And I got so caught up. This has brought me back to being Ben Roethlisberger. I sat at my dad's place, on the property, my parents' place, and we sat there, and my dad about a month ago said to me, he said, it's good to have my son back. And, that killed me. I mean, that was because my dad is probably my best friend. And so for him to say that to me really, let me know that I wasn't who he raised me to be.
In that statement in April, you apologized to your family and your teammates, the coaches, and the Rooney's, the NFL. But what do you owe the fans right now? Because, the stories in Sports Illustrated, there are stories that detail behavior that was sometimes mean-spirited and rude. What do you say to them?
You know what? I've wanted to apologize to them for so many things, for being immature, for being dumb, for being young, for not knowing any better, for getting caught up with everything that was thrown my way. But I didn't want to gain the whole world and lose my soul, and that's what I was doing. And I from the bottom of my heart, I know I haven't been the best person, the best quarterback for the Steelers. And I'm not talking just on the field, I'm talking off the field. I try my best and hardest to be a good role model to kids and do things in the community, but I know I can be even better. And that's what I want to do. I want to be the best. I strive every day, and I bust my butt to be the best quarterback in the NFL for these fans and for the Steelers. But I'm going to strive even harder, to work even harder to be the best off the field, to be the best role model and the best community leader and whatever that I can be off the field, because I owe that to the fans, because I have made a lot of mistakes. And from the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry to them. If I've ever wronged even one fan, I am so sorry. I'm going to do everything in my power not to let it happen again.
We believe
Did
you.
alcohol play a role in this? Do you have an alcohol problem, Ben?
No, I don't. You know what? I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I've said that, and I ask for forgiveness for my mistakes. And I've done dumb things, and I know that. But you know what? A lot of things that I've done, and that those chapters in my life, I've closed that book, and I'm not opening them up. It only matters what I do from here on out now, and that's what I'm excited about, is showing people and proving to people, fans, my teammates, my family, the commissioner, everybody, that who Ben Roethlisberger is, and that Ben is here to stay, because those things that have happened to me are just a chapter of my life that I've closed and I'm not looking back at.
When you step on the field for the first time, whether it's 4 games or 6 games, there are going to be people who don't buy this. They think it's marketing. They think you're doing it just so you can play football and make more money. They're out there. They're detractors. And they're going to boo you. How do you play well and win for your teammates under those circumstances?
Well, I always give my all to my teammates. You know, that's what's they had to drag me off the field in a cart, which we've seen happen before, for me not to play. And you know what? I owe it to the fans all over Pittsburgh, all over the country, all over the world, to go out and give them my all. And I know there's going to be people that aren't happy with me, and I owe those people apologies as much as I do anybody else. But the next chapter of my life, to move on and go forward, is what I'm excited about, and I hope that fans are. I know my teammates are, my family, and you know, I got to just give it my all when I'm out there playing, and hope that people understand that I've made a lot of mistakes, and I'm sorry for them.
In the past, some of your teammates have been critical, and have they circled around you? Have they supported you in a way that has either surprised you or been something you expected?
My teammates have been amazing through this. And like I said, I've apologized to a lot of them because I've made mistakes. And I maybe haven't been the best even teammate to some of them. And to those guys, I've reached out to and tried to wipe the slate clean and apologize to them and let them know that, you know, I got caught up. I'm sorry. And I will be better. Just like I, tell and promise the fans and everybody, I will be better. I'll be a better teammate. I'll be a better friend. And it's been great to get those text messages, those emails from offense, defense, special teams, guys that I never even expected to hear from. I got to hear from, and it was really touching, especially now, because I know, like, I don't want to let them down. Just like I don't want to let the fans down, I don't want to let anybody down. Like, it's so important for me to go out and just be the best that I can be.
There were no restrictions on questions, but time was limited, of course. We actually could have talked for hours. He was not specific about whose counsel he was receiving, besides that of his parents, family members, and teammates, but I've been told that he's met with a number of people very familiar with fame and how best to handle it.
Very revealing, Sally.
Will he rape again, Sally?
Forward, what are some of the keys in his rehabilitation?
Is he done raping?
Image-wise and with the fans?
Well, I think some people already knew this, but his mother and father have moved to this area, and they have a farm in western Pennsylvania, and I'm sure having them here is great solace for him, for them, and probably will be a key to his ongoing rehabilitation, which he seems to be very serious about. And when I talked to him privately when this was over, he seemed even more earnest. I have used that word before, and I would use it again. I would say earnest is a good way to describe his demeanor right now.
Of course.
All right, Sally, thank you very much.
Well, you can watch the entire interview unedited on our website, Pittsburgh Channel. It's under Hot Topics.
And join in on the chat taking place on our WTAE Facebook fan page. You'll find a link to that on the homepage.
New tonight, he